News Ipsos poll shows Trump and Harris in a dead heat. The poll finds more Americans trust Trump on the economy, while Harris is seeing more voter enthusiasm than Trump. ABC News senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott has the latest.
Now just 2 points separating these two candidates in this final stretch. Vice President Kamala Harris at 50%. She still has the edge over former President Donald Trump at 48%. This is within the poll's margin of error. But I want you to take a look at where this race stood just a few weeks ago when we did this poll in September. You had Vice President Kamala Harris. She was at 51%. Former President Donald Trump at 46%. She had a 5-point edge on the former president. He has since closed that gap just a little bit here. And a big likely drag for Vice President Kamala Harris all has to do with the economy. It doesn't matter where I go across this country. The number one issue that I hear from voters is the economy. And take a look at these numbers. You still have 59% of Americans who say that the economy is getting worse. 23% of Americans say that it's getting better. It's a big reason why you're hearing Mary say that Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be laying out more for economic vision, because despite the Biden administration touting economic wins, despite Vice President Kamala Harris really pitching voters on the economy, Donald Trump still holds the lead on this critical issue. Now, a bright spot for Kamala Harris has to do with enthusiasm. Her supporters are excited to vote for her by 84%. For President Donald Trump at 78% here, and this is not particularly low for the former president, but 4 years ago at this time, back in 2020, it was a lot higher. He was at 93%. Why does all of this matter? Well, any of that could make the difference in the 7 battleground states that will ultimately decide this election. Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona. You're going to be hearing a lot about those in the next few weeks here. And you'll notice a familiar pattern here. In 6 of these 7 battleground states, less than a point separating these two candidates. It's a big reason why former President Donald Trump, Vice President Kamala Harris, they're going to spend a lot of time in Pennsylvania today.
I've been receiving checks from Charles Schwab on a weekly basis. Let me show you. Here are just a few